Hello everybody, it's Kira with Polymer Clay TV, and today I'm going to show you how to make a fun pair of cute patriotic earrings. Let's get started. So I wanted to use the stripes and the stars screens in a fun little project, and this could really be done with any two silk screens, any motifs. It's just that it happens to be the 4th of July and I wanted to do a little patriotic earring project because many of you know that the 15-minute earring project is one of my favorite things in the world to do because it's an easy way to make something to match an outfit or an event, and it only takes as long as it takes to make them and then bake them. So here's what I've done. I've got Primo clay. This is I think this is pomegranate. It's the red, the new red color. And my screen color was Extreme Sheen by DecoArt in the metallic silver, regular silver. And then my blue stars are done with the DecoArt Extreme Sheen in the sapphire blue color. So I had done those on some clay that was a mix of Primo white glitter and Primo white gold. So there's a lot of glitter in there, the silver and the white giving it a nice kind of sparkly background. I just mixed those together evenly. And then my background color is also a Primo, and I believe this is the glitter. Oh no, this is pearl. It's a pearl blue and probably just has a little bit of the glitter on it from my fingers when I was mixing it up and conditioning it. So there are plenty of videos on how to silk screen. Basically just lay your screen down and using some kind of squeegee. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. It's a Master's Touch product. I was surprised and happy to see that they have them now in the paintbrush aisle, so I picked this up quite recently. And you just lay your screen down, run the bead of paint, and drag the paint across, and then let it dry. So that's quick and easy. Do that before you get started. So now I have my two pieces of the colored, and then I have the background, and I also decided to make it in the shape of a heart, so this is one of our heart cutters, and I've got enough of this to fit under the cutter. So I would normally do this part on my glass work surface, but it's quite shiny and it reflects the light, so I'll do it on a tile. But what I'm going to do is just make the little S curve. So here I created a sort of curved piece of that clay to inset, and I'm going to do it again. I just want to kind of decide here. I extremely lightly impressed that heart just so I can see where the outline would be. And I'm going to cut with a sharp X-Acto blade an S-curve. And then how I got everything to match is that I'll pick up this clay. It's got a little split in it. I'm trying to avoid ripping it. Right, I'll set it on here. That's the curve from before. And I will cut the white clay along the same curve. So that when I put this down, they'll fit together. And then I have to decide what kind of curve I want there. So I kind of want a bigger chunk. A big chunk at this end going down to a taper on the other side. So kind of a large amount of the blue tapering down to a smaller amount. Kind of like that. And then I'll just put this over the rest of this and cut my other piece of the red to fit. Basically, you're just making a little puzzle so that all of your veneer will fit nicely together when you cut out the heart. So that's the piece I'm going to keep. This is the scrap. That's all under there. And now I'm going to put my little puzzle back together on top of the blue because that is my background. So this is the back of the heart. This is the bottom. Then I've got this curve to fit against here. Might have to wiggle things around a little bit. There's part of the curve and then there's the other part. And then I just kind of gently coax everything back together. And check underneath my cutter to make sure that my pieces are still gonna. Okay, so now that it's laid onto the blue, I'm just gonna meld the seams gently with my finger in sort of a rolling motion. If your paint is all dry, it shouldn't matter. You won't mess up the silk screen. And I'm not gonna worry too much about this top seam because that's where my sparkly stuff is going to go. So I'm just going to pick out where the heart is going to fit, and I'm going to take my plastic wrap. This is what gives me a nice clean edge, and just lay it over everything loosely, and then put my heart on there where I'm going to cut, and just cut through the whole thing. Okay, so the plastic wrap helps all this release easily, and then your rubber tool can help you clean up the edges, sometimes that are left with the using a 3D cutter. And now I need to get my little bit of wire in there for the hanger. So how I did that is I took some artistic wire. This is 24 gauge. You could do anything probably between like a 20 and a 24 for this project, and I'm just going to cut off maybe 2 inches, and I'm going to check that against the one I've already got made because I want to have a similar bend. I can tell that I have a little too much wire. And you never want to stick the wire in just like this because this will pull back out of the clay. So I've got a needle nose so I can make some little loops on the end here. And I'm going to kind of shove the wire down into my design. Oop, cat hair. That's what we get for living with pets. All right, so I'm gonna shove this down in here. And this one on this side, this is just the type of hanger I wanted to make. You could use eye pins or any other type of hanger that you want. I just felt like doing it this way. And I'm just going to shove this in with the aid of my plier, and I can fix the bend afterwards. And I'm going to use my plastic wrap to help me push this down onto the tile. And what that will do is flatten the wire into the heart and flatten the back out again without leaving big fingerprints on the front here. All right, and next I just need my little bit of chain. This side is going to be shorter because I have less. Now the cool thing about cup chain, two things, is that you can cut an approximate amount because cup chain can be smushed together or pulled apart. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. So see, it can be pulled apart its full length, or you can smush it to fit less space. So you can make an approximate amount and then get it to fit right where you want it. So as long as you kind of center it, you can press the rest of that chain exactly where it needs to go. And also, because it has the little sort of railroad ties connecting all the cups together, those are going to get shoved down inside the clay, and that's what's going to stick the whole thing on. So I won't need any kind of adhesive because I'm going to really bury that chain in there, and then I'm going to press on the edges of my heart to make sure that that chain is embedded. So use all the tools available to you. The opposite end of a tool could be used for pressing, and then this is going to be used to just snug everything back up and make sure that it's not going to pull out of the clay. So now I will just bake this one and then finish them off. All right, I am going to pop this baked earring off the tile. And I just have one more thing that I want to do to finish it off. Got a couple little scraps of clay here I'm going to clean up with my blade. And I have these Pebeo deco markers. They're acrylic, metallic. Now, I want to say something about metallic markers. I used to use the Krylon metallic marker, and I did notice that after several years on my cured polymer clay, they became tacky. So be careful, do some testing. I know that I would not use the Krylon gold leafing or silver leafing pens anymore because they did not last. Didn't last for the long haul. So I'm just going to paint the edges of my earrings with the silver paint. You could use the deco art also. Because these are acrylic, I know they're going to be fine. I've used them before. I guess the Krylon is not straight up acrylic. There's something else in it. But you could certainly grab your metallic paint and just run it along the edge of the earring as well. So you can see that the way I used my plastic wrap and pressed down sealed the two layers of clay together really nicely. And now all I need to do is let that dry and then stick a little earring finding on it, and they'll be all done. So this heart comes in a set of 3. We have lots and lots of other cool shapes at createalong.com. And I'm so happy that you joined me for this week's episode of Polymer Clay TV. And I hope that you will come check us out. polymerclaytv.com. And for the rest of today, it's July 4th, 2018, you can get these 2 silk screens free with any purchase of 2 other silk screens in the shop. So the coupon code for that is Stars and Stripes. And we'll see you next week on Polymer Clay TV.